Are you looking for a crowd pleaser this 4th of July? Madeleine D of Fond Originals has a sweet suggestion that's perfect even for those of us non bakers. Madeleine, it's always good to see you. Prefer doing that in the studio, of course. Before you offer up this, what you've told me is an easy way to impress people. How have you been doing with Fond Originals? I mean, in light of all that's happened with COVID-19.
Well, things have been really strange with that because in the middle of last year, as you know, my restaurant closed and it was doing really well. It was the most popular that it had ever been. But my landlord sold the building, and then I ended up just kind of trying to figure out how I wanted to evolve the concept. And the product line was connected to the restaurant, and all of the plans that I had for, maybe opening another space, maybe expanding the product line and solely focusing on that, or maybe doing something else. Every single plan that I had for 2020 just sort of, floated down the river because of the pandemic. So I'm not currently making the product line, and I don't have a restaurant for the first time in like 5 years. And it's just really strange, but it's also really nice because it gives me a lot of time to think about, what sort of show concepts I want to make next. Because I had a cooking show that we made about 17 episodes, and it actually ended up winning an award at an international film festival last year. And we were so surprised that we won. Like, it was such a shock that we didn't even go to the awards ceremony because we didn't think we had a chance. So it was really encouraging and lovely to get recognition for something like that. And I loved making the show so much that I decided that I really want to explore that idea and make some more show concepts. And ironically, one of them was that I wanted to travel, and I wanted to sort of explore the idea of food being the great connector in life. And it's this really beautiful thing that can bring people together in a way that nothing else really can. And then the pandemic happened, so that made traveling kind of impossible. So right now I'm actually self-publishing my own mini cookbooks. I'm developing recipes. I'm writing a couple of show concepts, but in general, I'm not really doing much of anything that I've been doing for the last few years, and that's new and exciting, and for the first time it feels really energizing as opposed to sort of like frustrating or disappointing, which is a really good place to be.
I just want to ask you that because I mean, a lot of people I think, could empathize with what you already were going through, disappointments and frustration, and I mean, things you expected falling through
Yeah.
before COVID-19. So, just briefly, how did you go from that place to now you're looking at adversity with positivity?
Yeah. Well, I kind of had to. I've had a little bit of a difficult life in certain ways, and when I was younger, I was always really strange. I was always on the outside of everything, and I was bullied for most of my adolescence. So I kind of grew to be somebody who's just always kind of feeling adversity and always feeling on the outside of things, like I really need to kind of thrive and survive and keep going. And that's one of the reasons why I do so much. But I think I think more so than anything, I really just had to go through a process personally of realizing that the source of my love for working with food is that I really just love to connect with other people. And I thought, I don't necessarily need to be impressing people with 12 course tasting menus. I don't need to be doing really specific things in order to connect with people through food. So I'm really channeling wanting to teach, wanting to do philanthropic work. And I decided that I watched doors close, and I didn't want them to close, but they did. And so I needed to find another door, or else I was just going to stand still forever. So I really just sort of worked through and decided these doors closing is an opportunity for me to seek out new doors. So, I mean, that's really it. I know that sounds overly complicated, and it was obviously a lot harder than that. But yeah, I really like to try to try to look at things positively and figure out how I can keep going, because I think standing still is the worst feeling that I feel.
I just want to say thank you so much for sharing that about especially your adolescence and being bullied and feeling always like you were on the outside and that you were always facing adversity, because I think that there are a lot of us who can empathize with that and have felt that at some point in our life. And I hope you know, and I think you do. And I hope that anyone watching this knows that whatever it is that makes us feel like we're on the outside is also what makes us so special and unique. But speaking of special and unique, not a baker here. I know
That's
that
okay.
some of our Great Day Live viewers are amazing bakers, and then there are the others of us who just enjoy eating that. So, okay, how do we impress on 4th of July?
So this is the perfect dessert for the 4th of July, because not only does it have these patriotic colors of red, white, and blue, but you don't even need to fire up your oven. You can, if you want to, make sugar cookies from scratch, but you can also buy dough from the store. I am not judging. You can roll it out, bake it, and let it cool, and then top it off. Or you can just buy sugar cookies already made, and then you don't have to heat up your kitchen, heat up your house. But it's the simplest dessert. And my mom actually made this when it became all the rage about 17 years ago. And so I've been eating it and enjoying it and impressing people with it for that long. But all it is just sugar cookies, and then there's a frosting on top that's made out of 5 very simple ingredients. It's cream cheese, powdered sugar, salt, fresh lemon juice, and vanilla. And that's it. So you whip that together until it's the consistency and the flavor that you like. I like mine to be tangy. And then you spread it on top of a freshly baked sugar cookie, and you top it off with fresh fruit. So you can make round cookies. You can press the dough into a greased muffin tin or a mini muffin tin. You can put it in a tart pan. You can do any shape that you'd like. But all you do is just bake the sugar cookies, let them cool, and then you whip up powdered sugar, cream cheese, salt, fresh lemon juice, and vanilla. And I like to put in maybe 2 packs of cream cheese, and then about half a cup of powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, which is about 1 lemon, and then a couple pinches of salt, and about a half teaspoon to a teaspoon of vanilla. And you just whip that up until it's super, super creamy. Taste it, see if you want it to be more tart. Do you want it to be more lemony? Do you want it to be sweeter? And then, based on what you want it to taste like, just kind of doctor it a little bit. When you're finished, you just spread it onto the cookie, and you top it off with fresh fruit. And especially for the 4th of July, what you want to do is use red, white, and blue. And that's sort of the perfect opportunity to use those colors. And because it is really, really pretty to have blueberries on it, especially to fit with the appropriate colors for the holiday, it's really nice to use lemon, because I think everybody knows that ultra perfect combination is blueberry and lemon. So you just spread it onto your cookie however thickly you would like. And then you just top it off with, fresh strawberry slices. And I mean, you could make tiny American flags on here. You can really make whatever sort of pattern you would like. Um,
I love that this is also something you could do with your family,
Absolutely. This is the perfect thing to do with your kids, because, especially, I mean, it's sort of like doing cookie decorating at Christmas, because you can do whatever you want. You could make a little smiley face out of blueberries. You could build an Eiffel Tower out of blueberries. You can pipe the icing on. You can spread the icing on. It can be as perfect or as rustic as you'd like for it to be. So it sort of fits your personality. But what really is like just a crowd pleasing thing that anybody can do, but it looks really impressive, is to get the sugar cookie dough, roll it out onto a small rectangular cookie sheet, and then bake the dough in it. and let it cool completely. Spread your cream cheese filling into it, and then just do rows of fresh raspberries or strawberries or even cherries. And then just do a nice little block up in the corner of blueberries. And then you're done. And people will have, they're goodness, and people will be super, super impressed by the amount of work that you put into it. And this could be on the cover of a magazine, but you don't really have to have the most wonderful skills, and it's perfect for, tiny hands to help you do the rows. And frankly, nobody cares if it's perfect. I remember the first one that I ever ate was probably, very, very rustic, and I don't think that it was in the shape of an American flag. And all I remember is how good it tasted. I didn't really care that it looked perfect. And so that's what's so fun about this. Um, but but yeah, it's a super, super crowd pleaser. It's the sort of thing where people just, eat 8 portions of it, and they just keep eating and eating and eating, and there goes my blueberries.
I
Um,
love it, Madeline. I love it. I mean, I'm ready to make it. I think even I could do something like that.
for
Well,
sure.
thank you. Thank you so
Anybody
much.
can do it. It's so fun.
We appreciate you taking the time and also for just being so candid with us.
Of course, it's my pleasure. The reason that I call myself the seasoned cynic, is because my upbringing conditioned me to be very wary of other people, and very afraid of other people, because in general I was treated as somebody who was very, very different and just sort of wrong in everything that I did. And so I became very cynical about other people. I became very afraid of other people. And that's something that, unfortunately followed me into adulthood. And so, part of me wanting to be really impressive with food is that I really wanted people to think that I was neat and think that I mattered and really like me. And so now I've gotten a lot more comfortable with who I am. And a lot of that is actually because of my path in cooking, because I realized my seasoned cynic, is that food is the great connector in life. It's what brings people together. It's what helps people understand each other. And it helped me not only understand others, including the people who treated me badly, but it also helped people understand me and helped me connect and really kind of find my place in the world. So even though it's sort of like a negative connotation with my title, it's actually me making something really positive out of a difficult situation.
Well, we appreciate connecting with you this morning.
Thank you.
To connect with Madeline D, visit theseasonedcynic.com.